Folks, we got a whole crew here. I'm in the new mini excavator. That's right, I'm cheating. I gave up, I guess, on being able to do it with little tractors, but we've got a whole crew. We've got Ken from Bolt-On Hooks. He's in the 5 series right here, getting a bucket full right now. Well, a half a bucket full.
Hey.
And we've got Jeff, a new friend of mine I just met this morning. He's getting ready to come down in the pond right now. And we've got neighbor Rex in the 4 series. That's the 4075R. Now, both of those tractors are new. They're the ones that belong to John Deere. They haven't called for them back yet, so, well, we decided we'd use them on this project. And that way we've all got cabs. We can all talk to each other. We're just having a grand old time here. I think you're going to enjoy it too. Let's get started. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to dig some ramps here is what I'm trying to do. I've got one ramp dug that Rex is going in with that 4 series so that he can try to scoop out muck directly. When I'm dipping out the muck, it's just so wet that it's not stacking at all, and it's making it very difficult for him to pick up. So Rex is going in there right now, and he's able to go down and get his own bucket full. The question is whether he's actually going to find the bottom there. It looks like he may be. What do you think, Rex?
It's more solid than it was, but it's still plenty soft.
So, meanwhile, I'm trying to dig another ramp over here, and I think I can get it so that he or another tractor can get over here. And Ken and Jeff, and now Kenton. Here comes Kenton on the 2R.
The Brake Master Flex here.
We had just a few mechanical issues today.
Yeah, it's a good thing we've got a lot of tractors because we've already had some issues.
Broken so far.
And when we say broken, you know how it is. You know, they're out of commission for now. We would stop and work on those, except, well, we've got more tractors and there's a rain coming, so we're gonna just find the next best. And what is it they say in sports? Next man up. Next Johnny up in this case. Now this is Ken's second time in Johnny 5. Last year we had him mowing with it.
Yep.
And this year it's a little more of a challenge. Using it on the loader, it's a little more challenge because these steep banks and all, you know, we probably don't have enough rear ballast, even with the loaded wheels, loaded tires. You know, it's a little bit of a challenge, right, Ken?
Well, absolutely. And last time I operated this, I had the mower. I did not have the loader on. So this is the first time with the loader on this tractor. And I really feel like this blade is not heavy enough for what this thing can pick up. This thing is pretty strong loader on this machine. So I'm kind of a balancing act on what I'm picking up and working the clutch and trying to shift gears so I can move around efficiently. So,
Jeff, keep that loader low. I know I keep reminding you, but it should not be above the front wheels. These 3 series tractors are tipsy. I love the 3 series tractor. It's my favorite, but you get the cab version of it, and it is tipsy. The 3Rs. When I say 3 series, I mean 3Rs or 3X20s. I typically run fluid in the tires on mine. That one belongs to John Deere, so we do not have fluid in the tires on it.
yeah, I run 2-inch spacers on mine. It really makes it big.
And I didn't have fluid in my 3520 either, and we noticed it right quick. So, among other things, we had to kind of set it aside.
This center spot here is starting to get pretty muddy right here. Right?
Yeah. If somebody wants to, you can scoop a little of that out. Take your rear blade and pull it out, Ken, right now. Yeah. There you go. Down.
So Tim, has that excavator been in a video before?
Nope, this is the first time for it.
So,
I probably need to explain a little about why I've chosen
absolutely. Yeah, and how it's operating. It looks like it's doing a great job. It's definitely a capable machine.
I can't say that I'm an excavator expert, so for me to say, oh, this is the best brand or whatever, that would just be
Right.
bunk, because I don't know.
So I'm
but-
curious since you run backhoe so much, have you changed the controls to the backhoe controls, or are you doing excavator controls?
Oh yeah. I mean, I probably still look like an amateur running this thing, but there's no way I could run it on excavator style controls. So yeah, it's got a lever right down here by my right leg.
Right.
That you can switch the controls easily, and if you didn't, I would look like a total fool.
I learned on a mini excavator, a little John Deere 17 ZTS, and then of course I got the backhoe for my machine. It was definitely a learning curve.
You know, just comparing the two units, I've talked some about that on the channel in general, the backhoe to the mini-X. I mean, I just couldn't use the backhoe in this project because I couldn't get rid of the spoils.
Yeah, exactly. There's not enough reach, right?
And I just couldn't, you know, by being able to spin around here and get rid of the spoils, it just makes a huge difference. Now, of course, this thing is much, much stronger than, you know, any backhoe that I have. So that's in addition to the additional reach and everything. Ken, if I put muck up here on my left, would you be able to get it?
I'll try. I gotta try to come in straight because of that angle. I'll try.
I find the controls on this machine to be incredibly smooth, just incredibly smooth. I can operate it a lot better than I can the little backhoe. So there's always viewers telling me that I don't know how to operate a backhoe, and I get it. But part of it is that's just the way those little backhoes are.
They sure are. And I wonder how many people who make those comments have never operated one.
I'm certainly not the world's best excavator operator, but on the other hand, the backhoes, they just, you know, they're mechanical controls, and there's not enough flow to really give smooth control feel to them, and it's a compromise. Now, I think it's a wonderful compromise. I think a backhoe for a 1 Series tractor or a subcompact tractor is a phenomenal piece of equipment.
I used your backhoe on the smallest tractor you got on that ditch job where we did the downspouts.
Yeah.
And I was shocked how much power that backhoe had. It's small, but power-wise, for what it was, I thought it had power out the wazoo.
Yeah, and it'll dig a ditch fine. You know, I mean, as long as you have a place to put the spoils, you'll not have any trouble. And it's just kind of more specialized jobs that begin to cause issues. I've been wanting a mini excavator for a long time, and you know, I had the Casey for a couple of years, and oh my goodness, I fell in love with that thing. And so I knew that I would be able to use one sometimes. I mean, I probably not enough to justify the cost, but I knew I could use one sometimes. I seriously looked at used excavators for a while, and it is not an easy market. I've heard a lot of people talking about them. Used excavators are expensive. Now, you know, they're still cheaper than new ones. But what ultimately just helped me to decide to go new was my relationship with Neil Messick and our specific situation, right? So this is not the kind of thing that translates to most of you viewers. I mean, obviously we have this YouTube channel, and we are able to get machines at a lower cost than most of our viewers can. And that's just a fact. The machine is not technically sponsored by Messick's or Kubota, but they did provide the machine at a very compelling value for me, right? So, you know, it's not like I got it for free, and I just, you know, it made it to where I can use this machine for, you know, a few years and probably not cost myself any or much depreciation. So we chose the Kubota financing option. It's 0.99%, essentially 1% for 48 months. And, you know, I guess I personally feel like inflation is going to continue. I know that right now people are saying it's not, it's taming down, but I feel like there's more in the future. And so I felt like it would be best for me to finance the machine, go ahead and get it, and, I'll just hold on to it. We won't use it that much. I know it won't be nearly every episode on this channel. A lot of things we intend to use the tractors for. In fact, we intend to focus with the tractors just like normal. But there are just some scenarios where we need to use it. So I would actually probably recommend our viewers that have the same need as me, if you have mechanical skills at all, to look at used equipment. But I just felt like in our specific situation, it made sense to go with this new one. And so that's what we did. We want to thank Messick for working with us on this, and thank Kubota for working with us a little bit as well, and we really appreciate that. So why did I look at a Kubota and not some other brands? So I think I probably should talk about that some. The first thing is, I really am intimidated to go into a large construction dealership. I don't know. I go in there and here I am, just a consumer, right? I'm not a big time construction guy or anything. I feel out of place. I don't really feel like I belong, and so I'm intimidated when I go into the store. And so some of the construction brands to me are just uncomfortable to deal with because of that. Not anything to do with the equipment. It's just more me personally. So I really like the idea of working with one of the agricultural brands. And another reason I then chose Kubota specifically was they make their own excavators. And you've heard me talk at length about rebranded equipment. I really don't want to choose a brand that's rebranded. I really want a company that builds their own. And that's a personal thing. You guys might think differently, but it was important to me. So that's a little bit why I chose Kubota. As far as the size, this is the U48-5. I chose it because it has the new series cab. The -5 series cab is much improved. I don't know about much improved. I didn't have the old one. But it has smaller side panels here. It has a little better air conditioning, they say. It's a little quieter. And it's a new size overall. The 48 is a new size. I had to go with the zero tail swing to get this -5 cab. They don't have the extended tail swing, essentially the KX series with the new cab yet. So that's why I chose. I don't really care about zero tail swing. I don't think I needed it, but that's why I chose it. If you have any other questions about why we chose what we chose, or any comments, we'd be happy to hear them in the comments section. I just wanted to be as transparent as possible about our scenario, about what's happened and why we've chosen this, and so far I'm happy with it. I probably would be happy with another brand too. So it's not anything that I would have to say there. I can say that I haven't done anything with it except almost what you're seeing on the video here. It's got 11.7 hours on it right now, and it had like 7.8 on it when I got it. So that tells you how much time I've got in it. And so it wouldn't be even proper for me to say, oh well, here's what I really like or don't like about it, right? I got my bucket. I got this bucket and another bucket from Werk-Brau, and we had a chance to tour the Werk-Brau factory. We'll show you how that's spelled right here in the lower third. Werk-Brau factory. It was amazing. It turns out they make a lot of buckets for these manufacturers. In fact, I believe they make the Kubota buckets. So I'm very happy with the American-made buckets that we've got here. It's in Findlay, Ohio. And it's a huge facility. I had no idea. You know, I expected someplace that made buckets to be really small. Well, it's a big facility. Check them out, Werk-Brau.com, or you can go to your local dealer. Messick sells them. Other dealers sell them. That's kind of how we got hooked up was Messick's. And so yeah, I'm excited about that. We got a 3-foot bucket without teeth and a 2-foot bucket with teeth. Okay, I think I've got about a big enough pile for you, Ken, until you get caught up.
I'm not as efficient as I was up on top. I'm definitely not as comfortable down here in the ditch.
Oh, you're pushing mud at me.
I know.
Don't want to get my machine dirty, my brand new machine.
I know. You haven't even offered anybody else to operate it.
Are you kidding me?
I know. You're awful stingy with it.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can splash some of this mud on you.
Well, you're going to be here for 3 days. If you want a place to sleep, you better be kind.
That's true.
I'm going to try to create another ramp up here. I've got a little bit of a challenges to figure out how to do this. It's real steep on these banks, okay? And I say banks, I don't really mean the banks. I mean where we go down into these areas where the muck is. It's really steep. And so we can't get tractors down in there. And it's just, the muck is too mucky for me to dip it out and set it on aside. You can see that it won't pile at all. So we're trying to go with the approach that Rex is using right now, going down in the hole and using that approach to get it out. But it's, you know, it's just taking a while to get there. How's it looking down there at the south end? Are we getting that full?
Getting pretty flat over to next to this big pile.
Yeah, you definitely don't need to go any higher than you are, because we can put a little topsoil on top of it.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to level this as I go here.
Just keep pushing it on across the ditch, fill in that whole thing.
I don't know how much farther down I'm going to be able to go here, Tim.
Okay.
That last one's a challenge for this tractor to come up, I think.
What's happening? It's too steep down there, or?
It's starting to get slick. I'm going to try to clean it up a little bit here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going down a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Just trying to figure out what we can do. Is it what you need me to do, or what you can do, or whatever to help with the situation?
It's just getting the buckets so heavy. It's like the back wheels are wanting to come off the ground coming up.
Yeah. How you doing, Kenton? I haven't heard you laugh in a while.
I've been watching a lot, though.
Oh! Everything.
I saved it.
It's that water hole there, isn't it?
Like Joey Chipwood.
I think he was on 2 wheels. I think I was on 1. Woo! Hopefully that was on camera. Did you see what I just did?
I was watching.
Oh.
I was down on the other end looking at you.
I missed all the fun.
Makes you pucker, don't it?
Phew. It was going over until I hit the loader.
Anytime she starts to tip, guys, drop that loader. That's your first reaction. All the way to the ground.
Maybe not your first reaction, but I get it.
Just try to think that way. After you,
Might drop something, but it might not be the loader.
you can clean that up later.
Your tires are pretty well packed up, Rex, so you're not going to have much traction.
Yep. Yeah, it is rough too, so I'm trying to smooth her out a little bit.
Now, Rex, I'm pushing muck right down in the ramp, so I don't know if this is very bright or not.
Yeah, I tried to get some of that, Tim, but I felt like I was It's just sinking into it too much.
Yeah, so I'm just going to push it back in the hole. I think that Rex's approach of going down in the hole is what we're going to have to use. I've just got to get these ramps suitable for everybody to use. You want to try drive down in there, Ken?
Sure.
If you do, take your bucket and grab that clay on the way. In other words, set it down there flat and push it on down into the bottom and tilt it a little more. You're about a foot off the ground. 6 inches, 4 inches.
Well, loader's all the way down right now.
I don't mean the down, I meant the tilt. Yeah. You're doing fine though now. Now you're digging in too much. Your bucket is full of clay. So stop and
I'm feeling drops of rain.
Uh-oh. Oh, I thought it was me sweating.
So one thing we need to think about as far as rain is getting it so that we can pump the thing out again. Yeah. Am I in your way, Kenton? I was going to park here.
Oh,
Kenton's gonna have to get in out of the rain.
I might melt.
Okay, pack it up, Christy.
Well, we were going so good.
It was going real good with 4 tractors running and the excavator. We got a lot of dirt moved. Well, not really dirt, more mud and muck.
And then we got 1.4, 1.5 inches of rain.
Yeah, I got a lot of rain last night.
We've been pumping here. I think this is the second tank full of fuel.
Yeah.
Pumped one last night.
Yep.
Pumping here this morning. And the bad part is that given the rain kind of came quickly, I don't think we have it really where it's going to drain good. It seems to me like one side of that's going to stay full of water.
Yeah, it filled up very fast, and you still have the problem with the water running out. This morning it was down halfway, so still haven't solved the problem of losing water. So.
Oh no, it wasn't. The only reason it was down halfway is because I pumped that.
Okay, you pumped it that far?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we've only got a few more minutes before we'll have to stop this pump.
Right.
It's going to be really quick. But the problem is the whole pond then is kind of muddy and sloppy. I don't think we'll be able to work today.
Yeah. Even just walking out here was pretty muddy this morning.
Yeah. For our next episode though, we got a lot of work to do in the shop.
Yeah, we do. We got
Three.
3 tractors to fix. Broke 3 tractors yesterday.
Broke 3 tractors. So in our next episode, we'll try to show you some of the things that didn't work or broke while we were.
Right.
Broke is a strong term. You know how it is, but
Yeah, we had 3 malfunctions.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
major,
and,
not
and
major.
If we didn't have enough tractors, we would have
Yeah,
stopped right
we would've
then
stopped,
and
yeah.
got them going and everything.
Yeah.
But as it is, we just kind of set that aside and got another one.
Yeah, we got another one. Luckily, we had plenty here. Had to change some implements around, and yeah, it was cool to have all the inventory there.
We still got a lot of muck in the pond. That's not the final step. Just getting the muck out is not the final step. In retrospect, I wish I'd have done this in June.
Yeah.
It was dry in June. Usually it's dry in August. So it was pre-planned all along that August would be our month.
Right.
You never know.
Never know.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Tractors running everywhere.
It was. It was pretty neat to see. It was well coordinated.
No
And,
collisions.
no collisions. The headsets were the key to that. Everybody was communicating. When you came up behind somebody, you let them know they were there, and the communication was the key to having multiple pieces of equipment running.
Guys, it was an enormous amount of fun to me. I hope it was fun to watch, but I really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
I did too.
So, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.
Like a muddied spring or a polluted well are the righteous who give way to the wicked.
Oh, here. It's more solid there. See, we're down to, we can see the foot.
Yeah.
Am I gonna have to get an excavator out there to?
Well, you've got that's holding water too.
Yeah, I don't know what I
You
can
can't
do.
really get in there. I don't know, man. It's awful soupy. I don't know. You could break that dam and that dam, and get more out if you want
I
to try
can't
it.
walk in there, that's for sure.